Ben, I also want you to just delve into the latest attack that has taken place in Qatar. The gas field in South Pars was hit. That's a critical point. It's the largest gas field in the world. It's critical to Iran. They were not going to ever take this lightly. And then the reaction came in the form of a strike on Ras Laffan in Qatar. And then within hours, there is a statement. And the first time in 20 days, or I would say first time ever since he's come back to office, or the first time in his entire career in the White House, that he's saying, okay, we're going to stop these strikes. You rarely get to hear Donald Trump saying, I will not strike anymore, but you do not strike Qatar again. Is there a strong American vested interest in Ras Laffan? Is there a connection that you draw or anything that makes it so critical that Trump does something unprecedented for himself, that he says we won't strike?
So the South Pars is enormous. It's the largest field in the world. I think it's 6 times larger than the next largest field. And also it's a young field. It's only 10% of its resources have been extracted so far. So this thing is going to provide gas for the whole world, and it is the major gas asset in the world. And this is the leverage that Iran has. You know, if you can destroy a thing, then you control a thing. And the Iranian, the IRGC, they don't care if they screw up the global energy markets. They'll just destroy it and set the world back by a decade. And that's what the Trump administration is so afraid of. And what's really interesting that's emerged in the last 24 hours is that there's also a break between what the Israelis want to achieve and what the Americans want to achieve. The American side is primarily interested in keeping stability on the energy markets, like global. If prices of oil and gas double or go to $150 and gas prices have already doubled, that's going to cause a worldwide recession. That's going to be a problem for everyone. But from the Israeli perspective, they just want to collapse the Iranian economy completely. And so they're willing to totally destroy all of these energy assets. And the Trump administration is not prepared to go there. So by making this statement, and Trump explicitly said, not just there won't be any more attacks on South Pars, there won't be any more Israeli attacks on South Pars. And so there's now a major row between the two sides because their strategic goals here are fundamentally different. And it remains to be seen to what extent Netanyahu is going to stick by that, because this has already come up with a previous Israeli attack that they warned the Pentagon they were going in. But then they went in so hard, so destructively, that the Pentagon publicly rebuked them. And this is another dimension to this problem. To what extent does Trump control Israel? There's a big question mark over there, because Netanyahu's wanted this war for decades, and now he's got it. And the Americans are fighting it with him, which was his dream option. I think he wants to take the opportunity to try and completely, permanently collapse the Iranian economy, just to take it out of the game, because he sees it as an existential threat.
Understood. And you raise a very pertinent point there, Ben. We started the discussion asking, is Trump in control of the war, or has he lost control? And another question that emerges now is Trump even in control of what Israel does? Because clearly he said that we were the ones who started it, but there are more voices now suggesting that it's the other way around. It's the strings are being pulled from the other side, whereas US and Israel largely find themselves alone in this war against Iran, which is spreading quickly across West Asia. And in the latest remark by Pezeshkian, Iranian president, he said the entire world could come into the ambit of this if the strikes intensify even further. Only seems to be getting murkier and more dangerous at this point. Thanks so much for joining me here on the broadcast, Ben. Always a pleasure.
My pleasure.